Spring cleaning means refreshing everything, including our wine fridge. That's why we love our First Leaf membership. They always keep our selection fresh by sending us the perfect case of personalized wines right to our door. Whether we're craving a light red, a crisp white, or a refreshing rosé, we are always stocked and ready to enjoy a glass on a sunny day or at a spring gathering.
They have a wine concierge team, so whenever you have questions or you're like throwing a party, you can really impress everyone at your party with your wine selections because they give you info on the wine that you've received, so you can be like, oh, and this one has notes of citrus and raspberries, and then you're a wine sommelier.
And if you are tired of lugging big, heavy bottles of wine from the grocery store to your door and having that grocery bag break, well, not a problem with First Leaf because they get delivered right to your door, and you can stop picking wines and guessing by labels. You can get, like Natalie said, some fun facts about the wine you're drinking and sound smart. It's always fun to sound smart, even when you're not.
You can control when your wine arrives to your front door. So if you're out of town, if you're traveling, if you're not going to be there, don't
Stop
worry.
Or start at any time.
Don't worry. You can press pause and you can resume it whenever you want. You can control that all on the app.
Enjoy the fresh vibes of spring with wines you'll love from First Leaf. Go to tryfirstleaf.com/VIALL to sign up and you'll get your first 6 hand-picked bottles for just $44.95. That's tryfirstleaf.com/VIALL. Tryfirstleaf.com/VIALL.
You're crazy.
Does anyone here eat fast breaks?
No.
Oh, what is that?
It is the best candy bar on the market. It is a Reese's with nougat. It
I
looks
haven't
like
eaten candy since 2024.
Yeah, he's better than all of us is what he's saying. Yeah. So go ahead.
maybe that's your origin story. You should have some candy. You'd probably be happier.
Yeah.
Candy's the best.
What are you trying to say? Had a pretty good year.
After he's been like yelling at everyone all morning. It's
Yeah, I'm like, maybe
try
you need a
fast break.
maybe you need a fucking fast break. So I got that and some lemonade Sour Patch Kids, but
Oh.
they weren't as great.
Oh, yum.
What kind of candy do you like? Do you eat candy or is it just
No.
No candy in the household, or
yeah,
you're are you allowed
strict
to?
rules. No
Okay.
candy past the front door. Truly, it's very
Oh.
strict.
Okay.
I love a Reese's.
Then you'd probably love a fast break.
I probably would. I've been eating chocolate covered almonds on like nonstop recently, so that's not like candy.
That's like healthy girl. That's like
No,
green
that's
juice
like-
girl candy.
No, it's
That's
so
like Nick
LA.
approved candy.
That's so
Nick has that and he's like, I'm
candy.
being bad
It's
right
so
now.
annoying.
My candy's
Yeah.
grapefruit. and
Oh my
grapes.
god!
Yeah.
Do you give out trick or treaters toothbrushes and like pennies? What do you give trick or treaters? Just curious.
Yeah. No, I'm like, Nick, we have to get the candy for the trick or treat. He's like, absolutely not. You cannot bring that candy into this house.
No, not on
Well,
my watch.
that was October. I was still eating candy in 2024.
Was this like a specific 2025 thing that you were like, I just don't
He's
want
the one person on the planet Earth who has like made a New Year's resolution and has stuck to it.
Oh,
Yeah.
candy was yours. So you formerly did eat.
I haven't
candy.
had any sugar.
He formerly
Wow.
was eating supper and then would immediately make 4 bowls of Cocoa Pebbles and then eat 3 popsicles
Mm.
and then go to bed.
I had a problem.
Here's the thing,
He was
isn't there
sick.
not to be this person, but isn't there sugar and grapefruit? Are you referring to refined?
Simple sugars.
Yeah.
Refined.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
The
Okay.
stuff that'll kill you and give you diabetes.
Oh my
and,
God.
You know,
The sugars, as they say in the
Sugars.
South. I'm sure
The
you've heard that before.
sugars.
Yeah, for all the people. Oh, there's sugar and oranges. It's like, yeah. No,
Well, yeah. And also we need sugar to live, but. Okay, well, don't show him my fucking going to
Not
7
literally,
vlog. I don't want
not show him that
fly
vlog.
over the fucking edge.
Who told you we
Truly.
need sugar to live?
I think you actually might.
Well, again, sure.
Not
from-
refined. Like I'm
Yeah.
talking about
Yeah.
sugar,
Yeah.
carbs, all these things we need.
You do need.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Viall Files Reality Recap Edition. I'm your host, Nick, and boy, do we have a fun episode lined up for you today. Later this episode, the star... What? She here? Oh my God, she made it.
I'm so happy to see you.
I was so delirious when I woke up because I didn't fall asleep till 5.
5? What were you doing?
Well, I fell asleep originally at 8:30, and then I woke up at 11.
And then went out?
No, I laid there just like dying for.
We both have sleeping disorder. We both have not good sleep situation, but
What do you do to solve that problem?
I scroll. I do the thing you're not supposed to do.
Yeah.
Should be doing it. I mean, I've tried everything. It
scroll.
just, yeah.
Do you
I
have
just-
that was my problem and then I got a Kindle and now I'm a book girl.
You know, I used
And I
to have a
immediately
Kindle.
fall asleep.
I
Every-
used to have one, but then I kind of resisted, but maybe I should get back on that. It's nice to have all your books in one place.
Yeah.
I mean, I love an
Yes.
audiobook. too.
Well,
I like
see,
to,
this
close my
makes me
eyes and listen.
tired. You know, like my eyes get tired of reading, and I honestly don't even understand what's going on in the book because I just fall asleep.
I read Reddit. I call them my
Oh
bedtime
my
stories.
God.
Are you sick?
Well, not about me. No, I read like the Am I the Assholes, or I read about people's like really bizarre plane behavior.
Do you ever go to bed
Oh.
dreaming about the stories?
No, sometimes if I fall asleep to a TikTok, though, it will.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I have on repeat like 3 audiobooks, one of them being Matthew Perry, Don't Ask Me, and I just like his voice, and so I'll have like dreams about Matthew Perry a lot. It's quite strange.
R.I.P.
So. R.I.P.
Anyway,
Now I
sorry,
used to
I-
want to watch Handmaid's Tale before bed. That was triggering.
Yeah,
Oh,
that one's hard to watch before bed.
Yeah,
Mm.
no thanks.
It's a little-
But I
Might as well just watch the local news.
I was about to
So,
say,
like,
let's
I
close that
overslept
home.
a little. And then by the time I woke up, I was like, oh, I haven't told it. And I was like, oh, no, I don't. I
Well,
got to move
You're
my
here.
ass.
You look great. And we have a great episode. Dayna and Katie from Disrespectfully are here with us today because the cast of Love Island has just been released. And since they're best friends with the host, we figured why not come in and let's talk about the new cast members. We also have Brianne Howey with us this episode, the star of Ginny in Georgia, which premieres this Thursday on Netflix. I feel like it's a show all of you people listening watch, you know. She's a complicated character, a mom, you know, who
Yes.
overcomes adversity.
A mom who is not afraid to speak her mind.
Not afraid to speak her mind.
Stand her ground.
Well, Brianne is with us, and we have a great conversation with her as later this episode. Also, we'll get into the first reunion part 1 of Summer House. You guys don't watch Summer House, do you?
No, but I follow on TikTok. I'm when you're chronically online,
Yeah,
you can
you
gather.
know what's going on.
You can
You
gather
don't
what's
need to
going on.
watch TV anymore.
No,
You
We'll
just
get into
need
it
to
later.
on TikTok.
I got into it with Sierra on Viall Follows Plus. I am just over this group of women calling themselves girls.
Yeah, it was a rough reunion.
Can we retire that term just forever?
Thank you.
Girls,
Oh my
girls.
God.
I truly
It's like,
hate it.
I consider myself a girl's girl unless I don't like you.
I said it was a buzzword. It's another one of those buzzwords where it's just like, okay, so if I don't like
talking to the
one
mic.
girl, but
Talking
I
to-
like my girls, or I've got my girls back, then all of a sudden I'm not a girl's girl because
Yeah.
I didn't have some random girls
No,
back.
yeah.
That's this group of women.
Yeah, no, guess what? There's a lot of women I can't fucking stand.
You
So
know?
no, I will
Thank
not
you.
ride for you.
Yeah, and I
So-
say this as someone who hates people. I don't like
Truly.
people. I like my people. And it's just like this cast is like the leading charge of the self-identified, I'm a girl's girl.
You are like so in love, actually,
I am.
with a rock star.
Yeah.
I feel like last time you were here, did we talk about that?
I don't think so. I haven't
don't
really
think so.
talked. I mean, I've only recently, I guess, talked more about it. But
Hmm.
yeah, I'm super happy.
He's great.
Wait, so
You
one of
like
the,
it
one
until
of
you got
the
the
one of
Dayna
the stars
stamp
of
of
Next
approval.
Gen was involved in this like crypto kidnapping thing.
What?
Charlie
There's
Zakor.
the transition.
Yeah. We were talking about Katie being in love.
I know. I'm sorry. I'm just
It's
looking at
okay.
the notes.
That's why I don't mind keeping it to myself.
No one wants
Ka-
to know. So
Katie told me she likes to keep her love life private. So I was,
Well,
just, I
we're
was trying to-
respecting
We're
that
making.
boundary.
He's coming on Disrespectful.
Yeah, he'll be on
We're
Disrespectful.
gonna have him on.
Yeah, once he's back from.
Wait, Katie, how was it being on tour?
It's fun. I like if you enjoy kind of like hanging out and just hanging, then you it'll suit you. But I just like being with him. So it's
Yeah.
like I could be sharing a bunk with him or walking around Disneyland. I don't know. I just whatever we're doing. I just want to be with him.
So you were
That's it.
on a tour bus. You
Yeah,
were sharing
with-
about.
Yeah, it's like how do you feel
12
about sleeping in a
dudes.
sarcophagus, and then
Wait,
you'll
yes,
know how you feel about.
Yeah,
Oh my
yeah.
God.
For 3 nights, my back was wrecked.
Well, it's like sleeping in a coffin.
Yeah, that's basically what it is. I mean, luckily, like, I'm not a huge person. He's not a huge guy. So we can fit nicely in there. But like, it's just every 2 hours you wake up and have to like change positions because your hips hurt or then your shoulder hurts. But I still like will do it.
Are you like spooning the whole time?
Sometimes it's a little bit like he's definitely like a back sleeper. So I just kind of like rotisserie around his like sides.
Yeah, physical touch isn't like good for your lower lumbar. I don't think. You know.
No,
I like
Uh-uh.
it though. I would, I'll risk back problems for it.
Yeah, there you go.
And as will I.
Well, anyways, are you guys this Next Gen Bravo show does look interesting.
It does. I think it's gonna. I don't know. I mean, you just need a bunch of like young kids who just kind of
Like
don't know anything yet. You
well,
know?
we've never really dived into reality TV nepotism,
Yeah.
I know.
know?
This will be interesting.
and this is like a first.
I like Brooks a lot. He's sweet.
Meredith's son.
Meredith's son?
son.
Yeah.
Brooks
Yeah, I've
Mark.
never met him.
Or Brooke Mark. Brooks
He
Mark.
seems like a classy guy.
I like him. I think he's very pretty.
Who is Charlie Zakor? Am I pronouncing that right?
Probably not.
Zach Gower.
Zach Auer is a crypto trader and private investor.
Who's he the kid of?
I think Kim, no?
No.
I think
don't
is
know.
he
Kim's daughter.
dating Kim's daughter?
He's, I think, dating Kim's
They're not all
daughter.
Nepo babies.
No, there are some of them are just like
Some of them
friends
are
from
friends.
school.
Well, this guy apparently witnessed some sort of like crypto attempted kidnapping. Anyways,
Was it Sherry Papini?
have you been following the Sherry Papini case at all? I just, since my wife has become a true crime junkie,
The Sherry
Well, since
Papini
I-
was which one was that?
she's like the real life Gone Girl who faked her kidnapping.
Oh my God! Yeah, that was nuts.
There's a new documentary out on
Yeah.
Max, and there was a documentary on Hulu that seemed to be, they called it like Keith's, her I guess now ex-husband. It was like his version. Now it's like her version. We just finished it.
It's quite interesting. Did y'all follow any of the Karen Reed stuff?
Yeah.
We just did a deep dive on that.
Did you?
Oh
Yeah.
my
Well,
God.
go listen to that
I
on
think she did
Disrespectful.
it.
Do you think so? Do you?
No.
No, I don't think so either. I think they have such a loose case against her, and it's all just a bunch of law
I
enforcement.
think she should be acquitted. I think the state has done a terrible job of proving her innocence. I think these cops,
Her
um,
guiltiness.
well, have done some poor police work and maybe even have some corruption. I still don't think that means she didn't do it. And I think two things can be true at the same time. And the story of her innocence is just far less believable. Too many things have to come together for this conspiracy, as opposed to like she got drunk, accidentally hit her ex-husband and like
Boyfriend.
or boyfriend and killed him.
I think that I lean more towards she didn't, but I'm not 100% she didn't. But either way, to convict someone of murder too on this state's case,
Yeah.
it's just not there. There's so much reasonable doubt. So
I think-
no, thank you.
I think because she had left him stranded, knowing that he was maybe locked out of the house or couldn't get in, but didn't think it would result. I don't know. Who knows? I think maybe she knows something else, but I don't think, based on like all of the
TikTokers?
no, the people that were testifying, like the experts on like the physics
Forensic.
of how it could happen. It's just like how.
The like crash reconstructionists. And
Yeah,
stuff.
I was just like, I don't know.
like
I
they
think-
all reenacted it, and then it was like, well,
No.
you look like you're still fine after that.
Well, they're
car
like
crash,
he got
so-
he got booped with the taillight and did a like cartoon like ooh, spin and collapse, and then they're like that is what.
and then like
Took him-
asphyxiated, and then
and
like
his
snow
black
got caught
eyes
in
and
his,
his-
and then the dog
Well, I think
attacked
he hit
his
his
arm,
head.
and then
I
his
don't know.
The dog bite, and then the dog they mysteriously just rehome the dog, and
But
then
that's
he
Yeah.
still
destroys his
more
bone.
believable than why would these people kill him?
It is also crazy.
They were
that-
wasted.
yeah.
But then
I don't think they meant to. If they did,
I
I
think
think
it-
they got in a fight and he stumbled out and fell and probably hit his head, and that's what I think was more likely that happened.
I
but-
definitely think there was an accident, and he ended up dying, and they were all like, "Holy fuck, we're a bunch of cops and a bunch of cops' wives. Like, we got to cover this up. We got to figure out a way."
And everyone, including the kids, have all like stuck to
Yeah.
their story.
Why didn't the
and
cops
Yeah.
go in the house that morning?
Thank
If
If
you.
someone dies
So
on the lawn,
weird.
why on earth did a bunch of police officers not say,
Do you
"Let's"?
think OJ did it?
Yes.
No, the glove-
But there was a lot of shitty.
What are you talking
My
about?
point is
you?
there were
The
a
glove
lot.
didn't
He
fit.
got off because they were able to prove all the shitty police work that like did or didn't happen, and all like. My point is like bad police work doesn't prove someone's innocence.
Yeah, but bad police work can also prove someone to
Yeah.
be guilty when they're not.
Mm-hmm.
Like, did you watch Outcry? What the hell was that?
no, what was that?
Oh my gosh.
It's on
It's,
Showtime. You need to watch it.
it's based. Yeah, just watch it.
Karen, when you get acquitted, because I think you'll get acquitted, we would love to have you on the show.
Truly.
Wait, is the second trial happening right now?
Yeah,
I haven't heard. Is it?
the Commonwealth has rested their case, and now it's their turn. So she's
Okay.
like, she might testify. Could get crazy.
Yeah,
Unlocked
I think it's just
pocket.
because she's not really a likable person.
Yeah.
That people are
Yes.
like, I think it's easier to believe the
I think-
worst than someone that you just don't care for.
Yeah.
See, I think the opposite. I think that it's more fun to believe her innocence because that's the more salacious story. It's more salacious to think a bunch of cops are colluding. We've all had a bad experience, whether it's just a pullover or a cop is rude to us. Like, it's more fun to believe.
I think it's really hard for a woman to overcome not being likable in the court of public opinion,
Mhm.
and
Yeah.
she is
I think she's
ornery.
pretty
and just, like,
likable.
I
No,
don't-
she's not.
She's very she likes the attention. She
She's
loves the
not.
attention. She really is into herself.
No,
so
fuck me. Anyway, the new cast of Love Island is upon us. Have you seen these people?
Oh yeah, I watched the whole like promo that
Okay.
introduced them all. They're all
we-
very sexy.
We have Usilla. Am I saying that right?
Ulissa.
Yulissa?
It's very season 6
I was
coded.
about to say, do you feel like they tried to find
Like they're like, who
lookalikes?
is our
PPG.
Leah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Leah. Who is our
Cordell?
Cordell,
Who is
you
our
know.
Serena? Yeah.
Who's our Kendall?
No, they literally have a guy on there. He's like, I'm a short king. I'm like, that sounds familiar.
And wasn't he wearing like a cowboy hat?
Not
Yeah, I
that one. That was a
but
different
that
one.
one kind of get
That-
he
All right,
gets
we
scored
got-
out. All right.
Was it Jeremiah Brown? Sexy.
He says he's a really good communicator. I do remember that.
Does
be
he
pulling
also say
everyone for a
he's
chat.
hot.
Does he also say he's a liar?
Well, hot.
Well, he says he's a 3 out of 4
Do they have like
times good guy.
bios? Do they have like fun facts or anything?
Yeah, so Jeremiah's fun fact is that he's a model who just starred in a True Religion campaign.
True religion.
I didn't know True Religion was still around. That's
Me neither.
cool.
I
He's
feel
from
like
LA.
I feel like only like mega church pastors wear True Religion jeans these days.
Yeah, is that a recession indicator? I feel scared about
I
that.
don't know.
True
Fashion was
Religion.
having a moment a while ago, so I think it's just the resurgence.
Okay.
Mhm.
Yeah, like 90s fashion is on its way back.
But it's also giving
That's scary.
Cordell the like I want to Cheez-Its sponsorship. It's like my fun fact. I just modeled for True Religion.
Yes.
Mhm.
Should we go back to Ulissa? We didn't do her fun fact.
All right.
Hell of a
so
bathing
She's a
suit.
mermaid.
She's she's an entrepreneur who works in real estate, hospitality, and luxury and business. Per
So
her
she works in
Instagram.
what? That's like 40
So I guess she
different.
has a lot of jobs.
Yeah.
She's
She's
rich.
busy.
From
hangs-
Miami, Florida.
She hangs out with rich guys on their boats.
There we go. That's what that means. That is what that's code for.
Sorry.
She has residency at Sexy Fish.
Chelly.
According to the promo, she's big into astrology and she will be judging men based on their star signs.
Hell yeah.
That's yeah.
That's reliable.
Hell yeah.
That'll work.
Oh, I'm into that.
Yeah. It's worked for you.
No,
far-
it sure
oh.
hasn't, but I like it. I like to watch it unfold.
Perfect.
Is this our quiet, mysterious guy?
This is our guy who jumps into the pool and has a temper tantrum.
Oh, this is our Rob.
He looks like
Nicholas.
How tall is he?
He looks like Lucas a little bit.
Oh, he's got a little Lucas Gage to him.
Oh, yeah, he does.
Yeah.
Nicholas Van Steenberg.
They all kind of look short.
Is a prereq to have a
Listen,
last
sign me
name you
up.
can't pronounce?
Right?
What is going
happening?
on here?
They all.
Steenberg.
Aren't they always kind of short kings?
Is
They're
it
also all
Nicholas
from
or Nichols?
Florida.
Nichols? Is
Nicholas.
Nicholas.
It is Nicholas.
Nichols.
Angeles.
They're
Are they
missing
all
an
from
H.
Florida?
Except for
Is that
True
a
Religion
prereq?
guy. He's from LA.
Wait, what are his fun facts?
Fun fact, you might recognize him for his modeling work.
We don't.
I
God.
don't, but according to his Instagram, he also has a degree in nursing
Hot.
from Florida Atlantic University.
Okay, Gaylord Fokker, let's
Okay.
go.
I kind of like him.
Not subscribing to social norms. you know?
Yes.
Look at him.
Love.
Like I wouldn't mind waking up from anesthesia and seeing.
He said,
Yeah.
I'm smart and hot.
He's,
Gaylord.
he's definitely my type.
Yeah,
But
same.
hot.
Yep. hmm
And I like the cowboy too, but anyway.
Oh, is he a cowboy?
No, he's coming up.
Decatur.
Oh, okay.
Alondria.
You know.
Decanter.
Decanter.
She
Oh,
got
Never heard
No,
of
it
that
is
place.
Decatur. It is
Yeah, I was
Decatur.
about to say, I think it's
There's a
Is
spelling
it?
error here. It's
Why is
Decatur.
it spelled like that?
There's a spelling error on this doc, but it
Oh.
is Decatur.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah, I was like, Decanter is not a place in Alabama that I know.
I was going to say, you're from the South. You don't know Decanter?
You've never visited Decanter?
Her fun fact is she's a graduate of
Tuskegee.
Tuskegee?
Yes, thank you. Tuskegee University.
this guy.
This is Cordell.
Yes.
This is Cordell.
I like but he's a cowboy. He grew up on a. He said he learned to ride a horse before he learned to walk.
Hot.
I think that's what he said. But
What,
yeah.
is it, what
Hot.
does tattoo
Hot.
say?
Not
It says
Kill?
something not kill something.
What are his fun facts, Taylor?
He
Taylor
was on the
Williams?
cover of Wonderland in 2024 for Louis Vuitton.
Oh my god.
Oh, that's
There's,
cool.
Like lots of models.
A lot
like
of
literal
models.
models.
Well, yeah, you're half naked the entire time on the show.
It
You
has
better
to
be a model.
yeah.
That's what I tune in for on my
reality TV is full of hot people that maybe like dabbled in modeling, a la,
Tom Schwartz.
But these guys are like models. Like,
Louis
Yeah,
Vuitton,
Wonderland. Yeah,
huh?
Wonderland. That's legit.
He's
I like
hot.
that he's sticking to the bit with his cowboy hat.
I was gonna say to her, I'm like, I mean this with all due respect and just full jealousy of that not being my path, but I'm like, they do also need to be able to take off work for 2 months to be in a house dating a bunch of people. So I'm like,
Mhm.
I'm sure they'd hire a bunch of models.
Yeah, models do
Well,
have a
I mean,
flexible
you know,
schedule.
my Salesforce gave me some time
Do you
off.
like? I feel like you would be into him.
The cowboy?
Yeah.
Yeah, except for the fact that he's a cowboy, but he was.
I love
you
a
know, She loves a
cowboy.
cowboy.
Yeah.
I watched all those seasons of Yellowstone and 18.
Rip.
and
Were you
80,
a
whatever.
were you a Rip or a Casey or a Kevin
All of
Costner?
them. All of
Oh,
them.
I always
yeah.
thought
I mean,
Kid-
I understood it from that.
And Rip. And what's the old guy's name? Him.
Kevin Costner?
No.
All of them.
No, the other. Lloyd. Was it Lloyd?
Oh,
old guy?
yeah, Lloyd.
I love Lloyd.
Lloyd
could get it.
Lloyd
Lloyd
killer.
could get it. Huda.
Huda.
Who dis?
Raleigh.
Huda Mustafa.
All right. Fun fact. She's an influencer and trainer who sells online coaching. Given her dedication
That's
to her
shocking.
fitness journey, we don't see Huda giving up easily on Love Island USA, which could see her making it all the way to the final with her man.
Do we see her working out with the men? You know?
With
Yeah.
these men?
Yeah.
By working
No.
out,
Island.
she means like
Because she's a trainer.
Oh.
You know, like she's going to be out there.
she's gonna be leading it. She's
Yeah.
like, hey guys, I do curls.
Yeah.
And with those guys, I don't know. Maybe if like I think she wants like a big brawny. Maybe that guy.
Oh.
That's your type.
Easy.
I mean, you keep saying
Oh.
every single person, but it's also possible. 'cause I
I'm
don't
just
really
trying to
have
gauge
one,
you. I
but-
don't know what she's into these days.
Northville.
Yeah, he's hot.
Is that Michigan or Michigan? Missouri? What's MI?
Michigan.
Michigan?
Mhm.
Austin Shepard. Okay. What are he looks tall from.
But his fun
He
fact
does
is
look
that
tall.
he
That's why he
recently moved to Florida, so I guess he's
Boo.
now in Florida.
Floridian.
Okay. What? That's his fun
That's
fact?
his fun
That's
fact.
that is his fun fact.
Oh, he's boring.
Who?
Okay,
They can't
geography.
dig a little deeper.
Can
for
we get
these-
the Bachelor producers to pull some fun facts out of these people?
Get 3
This
bullet
girl,
points.
I
need a fear.
What is her name?
I really
Bella.
Bella.
Bella A.
Really?
I like
Bella A.
her. She's
it's Bella.
cute.
I bet it's Bella.
Her intro package was very cute, and she seems very likable.
Bella.
What's her
Yeah.
fact?
Her fun fact is she works at her parents' coffee shop when she's not busy modeling.
Yeah, they are all models.
There we go.
It's like they're like,
Alright.
we need you to have a little bit more of a humble approach to this. Like, we can't just say like you're a model because
She's like, I did help.
fine.
Yeah.
Okay, I like occasionally will ring up a latte.
Like I
at
go
the
for
coffee shop.
This is like I like to take walks.
Yeah.
So
But all of these people
she-
will have stuff in common.
So whoever
True.
she's with is gonna have to make good coffee to bring to her dressing room.
Oh yeah, that's a big thing. That's a
Mm.
big component. This is the
Ace.
short king.
Ace.
How short is short?
His fun fact is that he's a content creator with 1 million followers on TikTok, and his official website describes him as a DJ, comedian, model, choreographer, YouTuber, and professional party host.
Oh my god.
I think we're gonna like him.
He does
Renaissance
it all.
man.
And also, I'm
Truly.
surprised as so how chronically online I am that I haven't
You
heard of
haven't
him.
co-
So I'm
you haven't
feeling a
come
little
across.
disappointed in myself.
Well, the internet is a big place.
Wait, was that everyone from Love Island?
That's the
Wow.
The original cast. I mean, we
Well,
don't
yeah, but
know who the
anyways.
bombshells are going to be. I'm a little surprised that they didn't cast any, like a la Rob. You know how Rob was a bombshell from a previous season,
Mhm.
and that seemed to really
Yeah,
Yeah,
pop.
but you
But I-
don't know that that's not going to happen.
Yeah,
Well, Rob was part of the original cast of last
The
season.
original, but he could be the first bombshell.
Yeah, but like a bombshell. That's what I'm saying. Rob was a bombshell, and then they moved him into the original cast. Like, there's no point in bringing a bombshell back to be a bombshell
No,
again.
They
Rob
do that,
was
though.
You
Casa
think
Amor.
Rob's going back?
No. But Rob was Casa Amor, and he was brought in in the OG cast. But I could see them bringing in like the first round bombshell as
Who-
somebody we've seen.
What's a
before.
bombshell or cast member from a previous season that you would love to see?
someone from last season maybe.
Honestly, all the guys from last season sucked.
Rob-
at Casa Amor.
Okay, here's the thing. It's because I don't chronically watch this like Katie is and you guys, but Rob, I actually just was scrolling the other day. I saw him in a bush somewhere with a snake at night, like
Yeah.
snake
Tracks.
gathering.
Makes sense.
I was like, who the fuck? He's hot. And then I was like, oh, this is that Love Island guy that loves snakes.
But he was he the first bombshell because he was with Leah at the very beginning.
No,
of
he
the
was
season.
No, he was the
He was
OG
OG.
cast.
Okay,
last
so he was
season.
OG,
He was
so-
a
He was in Casa
bombshell.
Amor season 5.
Oh, okay. I think I missed that one. But
Have they started filming yet or not yet?
No, it's June 3rd. is
Have
the
you
premiere
seen
date.
any previews of Ariana's outfits? or
no, kind of want to be.
Yes.
Oh, you have?
I have.
Okay,
I've seen a couple there. I mean, she crushes it with the looks. She
I
looks
like to
amazing.
see
Has
it
she
when
met
it-
any of the cast?
dresses?
Saw
Yeah,
it.
when it's in slow mo.
What does she think?
Yeah, she's super excited about the season. She's really excited. She's gonna look fucking fire, and I think it's gonna be great. I mean, I love that she genuinely loves the show and had for years, and this is just like
Are
it's
you
really
gonna
cool
watch this
watching.
year?
I am just because of her. Like
It's a
'cause
lot.
'cause
I
her-
get it,
I
but, like-
I mostly watch her
That's-
parts and fast forward.
That's how we got into it last season, and then we're like, oh my god, this is really good.
Yeah.
It was really good. I mean, you can. It's kind of like you can have it on and sort of pay attention to it, and if you need to come back to something, you can. But like,
I just like wondering what they're doing because it's in real time.
it's so weird.
It's like, what are they doing right
being
now?
there,
Oh my god, they're sleeping. Ah.
watching the monitors while they're sleeping. And
Yeah.
I remember after we did the after sun, we were sitting there eating like McDonald's, and I look over on the screen and it's live feed, and they're all just like asleep. I'm like, this feels like such a science experiment. Like it's so bizarre, but it was so
It's like Big
cool
Mhm.
being there because I love the show. So seeing like being that right next to the villa like that, and then where after sun is, it's kind of like on this hill above it, so you can see down into it. Like you can see the fire pit. It was very cool. I loved it.
Are you gonna go back?
I wish. I mean, last time they gave me about 3-day notice. So
Perfect.
You
So
never
it
know.
could still happen. It could still. There's still
You
hope.
have time.
Yeah, I told them. I was like, I'll come back anytime for reals. It's paradise. It's just so far. It's so
Yeah, that was
far.
a quick 3-day trip to Fiji.
Yeah, and losing a whole day in between and coming back and then
That's
losing
wild.
my mind.
It sucks coming back. Going there, not so bad.
No.
Coming back is
Yeah, you
brutal.
come back on the same day that you already live.
Yeah, and then when you leave there, you skip it, or
Yeah,
when you
that's
leave
like
to go there, you
Japan.
skip it. Exactly.
Mm-mm.
It's tough. It was a tough turnaround.
Yeah, the Virgin Islands are like right there.
That's true.
In Cabo from LA.
Cabo, yeah.
All right, ladies. Well, they have to go film Disrespectfully. Listen to it wherever you get your podcast. So thanks for stopping by. Always good to see
Yeah.
you.
Thanks for having us.
Good
It
to
was not
see
at all
y'all.
stressful. Okay, love you guys. Bye.
Up next, Summer House. Well, all you bread girlies out there, you have heard us talk about Hero Bread and how delicious their bread is. Our daughter, River, is a croissant girly. She's obsessed with them, and we love to give her what she wants as long as it's reasonable. And we love the croissants that Hero Bread offers us and our daughter.
Not only is River a croissant girly, but she's also a quesadilla girl, and we love tacos in this family. And Hero Bread's tortillas are so incredibly delicious, and everything at Hero Bread is healthy. You'd never know. It's low net carb and high fiber bread. From the texture, you get soft, fluffy experiences you know and love, whether you're grilling seasonal favorites like burgers or packing fresh wraps for everyday lunches. No compromises, just flavor. Ultra low net carbs, 0 grams of sugar,
Which I
and
love.
high in fiber. All of your favorite recipes are covered with Hero Bread's sliced bread loaves, tortillas, bagels, and dinner rolls.
Hero Bread is offering 10% off your order. Go to hero.co and use code VIALL at checkout. That's VIALL at HERO.co, hero.co. Well, we know all you business people out there who are managing teams, hiring teams, we know that employees, while valuable, can be expensive, and you hired people to get work done, not spend all day checking their grammar. Well, Grammarly does a great job helping your team do what you hired them for and making sure that their emails and documents sound professional, avoid typos, things like that. Let your team get more done with Grammarly. From emails to reports and project proposals, it's more challenging than ever to meet the demands of today's competing priorities without some help. Grammarly is the essential AI communication assistant that boosts productivity so you can get more of what you need done faster, no matter what or where you're writing.
90% of professionals say Grammarly has saved them time writing and editing their work. Grammarly sets the standard for responsible AI you can trust. You can write and edit quickly with context-aware suggestions everywhere you write, and you deserve to be equipped with the best tools to do your job with the right AI support.
Before we got Grammarly, I would proofread, I don't know, my emails over and over and over. And still wouldn't catch all of my mistakes.
I know y'all have seen an Ask Nick
Yeah.
questionnaire before.
You know? No, thank God for Grammarly is all I'm saying. Grammarly works across more than 500,000 apps and websites.
Let Grammarly take the busy work off your plate so you can focus on high-impact work. Download Grammarly for free at grammarly.com/VIALL. That's GRAMMARLY.com/VIALL. Grammarly.com/VIALL.
All right, Summer House, after our heated discussion about this
On
this episode on Viall Plus, for those of you who don't subscribe, but it's where you get our real feelings sometimes, you know?
Yeah.
The uncensored shenanigans of
Because
us.
Us Weekly doesn't pay the monthly
subscription.
yeah.
Don't tell them.
Anyways, go to Viall Plus, or if you listen to us on Apple, you can just sign up right there.
Mhm.
Check it out. You get your update specials, or our Ask Nick updates from all those crazy stories.
I will say this was a tough watch.
Tough watch for all you people who ride hard for the ladies of this cast.
I saw someone make a TikTok and they said that if you're fans of the Sierra Amanda page, you're like one of the toxic people on TikTok.
Oh.
Because it was like,
What
you
if-
can't realize that these are 3 mean girls, like
Yeah.
being mean to the one newbie. And I saw it this episode.
Same.
It was rough.
And then on the fans, the supporters, the alleged toxic people on TikTok, their version is this is Lexi's fault because it's like their explanation is they clearly don't like Lexi. It's just like, well, yeah, we get it, but like,
No, I think their take on it is like this was a 4-week relationship or 6-week relationship. Like, why is she so upset? Why is she making it seem like it was some like 2-year ordeal? Where all of them laughing while like talking about Toegate, and it's like he cheated on Lexi and she's sitting right there. And if that was Sierra, like
Sierra
all
still won't
hell
shut up
would have
about
been
West.
broken fucking loose. Yeah, Sierra
We're
still
still
isn't stopped
talking about her feelings about West.
She's
Well,
still not
Andy
talking
asked.
about. Well, she's still talking about the press he did, like that. Him going on his
Yeah.
media tour still pisses her off.
Why?
But Lexi can't be
Yeah.
upset that like her boyfriend cheated on her.
I
And all
guess.
of the people there are laughing. And it's like, but you want respect when like he does a press tour and mentions your name?
And why does this cast seem to decide who can't and can't talk to press or do podcasts? Like, well, they say it so condescendingly, like on your press tour, they act as they have these rules for their cast. I mean, again, you have a young woman who came on not knowing anyone on this cast, a newbie, younger than all these people, new. And like, again, I think the whole girl's girl, as Katie Maloney mentioned earlier, is the dumbest shit ever. As if like, it's just a dumb saying.
But when Lexi came into the house, like her focus was on Jesse, not like making friendships with these girls.
No.
So
How
like,
do you
why
know
is
what her focus was walking in the house? She walked in the
'Cause
house
we
and met a guy she was attracted to and started liking him. And that's a crime?
But what I'm saying is, while she's focused on Jesse, Paige, Amanda, and Sierra are having their own summer. So it's like all of a sudden now it's like because Jesse fucked up that it's like these girls don't have her back, but like they weren't like bonding.
But then again,
throughout
what
the
is the
summer.
definition of a girl's girl?
I don't know, but I'd love to stop hearing it.
Yeah, same. Same. And again, I'm a judgy motherfucker. I keep my circles small. I am loyal to my small group of friends. Just own that. Just own the fact that like they are a cliquey group that like doesn't fuck with most people. And if you're not one of us, we're not going to. Fine. Don't all season long self-identify yourself as like usually for the girlies, you know?
I think this has less to do with what has happened all season and more of like what happened at this reunion, because it has been how many months since they stopped filming?
Mm-hmm.
Like they've all gone on, Sierra's been on Watch What Happens Live. Lexi's done her podcast tour. Jesse's like they've all gone out and promoted this season of Summer House and talked about some storylines of what happened. But they had a chance to come to this reunion and be like, we love Jesse, we're Team Jesse, but we don't support the cheating. And they didn't do that. They like made it like it was so fucking funny that he was in that room with all these naked people like getting his toe sucked while Lexi's sitting there being like, and the back and forth between Sierra and Jesse of like I don't want to fuck Jesse. He's like, come on, Sierra. She's like, shut the fuck up. And he's like, Sierra, your hair looks so good. Like it was just so disrespectful on so many levels of like you're doing that in front of this girl who clearly is like upset about what happened in her relationship with this man. And you have just like no consciousness of that whatsoever.
Leaning into the sexual chemistry of your platonic friendship is the most, while your friend is like pursuing a relationship with someone else, someone who is in the same industry as you, who like many people could see as like someone you might want to compete with subconsciously, is the most pick-me energy ever. How can anyone disagree with that? And and that's fine. But like, and listen, I've been a pick-me before. I've done things for attention, but it's just the way they all act as if they are incapable of that type of behavior. And they're so critical of other people who give that type of behavior.
Wait, so what did y'all think of the reunion? Those were our thoughts. What'd y'all think?
I enjoyed it. I love seeing people like they are mean girls.
Okay, thank
They're
you.
reality TV stars. They're mean girls. I love to see, and I personally enjoy it.
Yeah.
That's the thing. Like that's why I'm like, I'm not mad at Paige or Sierra or Amanda for like
Madam
being mean about it. Like I'm like, yeah, give me more of it. It's creating good storylines and things. Lean in, be worse.
What I love about Paige
lead
is
into
that
your worst tendencies.
Is that she thinks she's better than most people, and she backs it up.
Yeah.
I just would like her to own that aspect a little more often.
I love it when people are unself-aware on TV. It makes for great television. And so I'm just seated watching them all like be dumb. It's great. That's my take on the reunion.
Okay.
And I think Jesse's a loser.
Well,
but he's a very charming, affable loser that I would want to hang out with.
Yeah, I mean, he's
Yeah.
very charming and
Like-
fun. I get why they want to be friends with him. I
Yeah.
get why they're this more like, you know what, we need a couple fun guys in our group, and we already have hot women, and like we don't need a young girl who's still figuring herself out. Lexi's so like us 7 years ago, like we don't have time for her. I get it.
I think the
It's
thing
just
with
Mean Girl.
I think the thing with what really entertains me about the dynamic is that Jesse's friendship with these women is so, to me it reads, and maybe this is just my take on it, of like they do not respect Jesse. They just find him entertaining and funny, and he's like their little plaything. Like that's how, like for Sierra, he's her little plaything. And she's not like respecting him in that way of like, no, I'm not gonna fuck you. Like you are just for my entertainment and enjoyment, because I know you will flirt with me and give me attention. I'm gonna give it back to you because it's fun. And so then, and I think to her, she's probably like, that's obvious. And then for Lexi's like, well, wait, what the fuck is going on here? Because she doesn't have that like set dynamic with him. So obviously she's really upset about it. But then to Sierra, she's like, why are you mad? Like, I'm not, that's not what this is. But then I don't think that Lexi's wrong to feel that way.
But
you
it's
know?
just like Sierra acting as if Lexi has no reason to be upset is the most delusional thing I've seen, given just how the fact that we still talked about her and West a year fucking later.
Mhm.
Yeah.
It's crazy. It was honestly fascinating, though, Sierra talking about her family dynamic and talking about her mom and how her mom is, per Sierra's POV, like has a history of dating men unworthy of her. And it just seemed kind of ironic.
I don't know.
I
I
feel like it's
felt for
sad.
her. I felt for her in that moment. That
I know.
seemed,
I
like,
totally felt for
genuine.
her. It was just more like,
I mean, Andy asked the question, like, do you think that's played a role in like your
Yeah.
dating choices? And she was like,
Yeah,
I think
absolutely.
it
but her
has.
answer was, yeah, that's why I'm more. Sierra sees herself as incredibly picky and like has high standard. The men she dates suggests otherwise.
I mean, Austin and West are definitely way below her what she could get. That's
I'm
for
also
sure.
like Wes did come to the reunion with an apology prepared, so it's not like he didn't know that this was going to be brought up again either.
He
Yeah.
did, and then he was like,
I thought he had it on himself pretty well.
I think he did great. And then I think when Sierra was like, if you can talk to the press, you can talk to me. And it was like, oh, and we're bringing it back up again. We're still not over the press. Like, all right, let's go.
Like I feel like that they're like on a road for healing, because at least she was able to have conversations and actually talk to him.
She said his hair looks better.
No, I totally think that like they needed to do that. That was great for them. I just think it was hypocritical for her to like still want to push that into West, but not have any sympathy of Lexi with her man cheating on her in the house. Like, just thinking it's so funny.
Well, it's just, I felt bad for Lexi when everybody was laughing, because obviously Andy made a point to point out, being like, and the only person not laughing is Lexi. I'm like, I do think that the way that the conversation of Toegate and even the name Toegate being brought up, it's kind of like one of those things where it's like, I'm sure it's been a joke
Oh, it's so silly.
running
It's so
throughout. So,
stupid.
I'm like, at the same time, I don't think anybody was thinking about Lexi's feelings or trying to make her feel bad. But I'm like, the entire situation is just so batshit. You went into a room for 37 minutes, got your toe
No,
sucked.
it's a slap in the face to everyone watching the show. Like, we're not this fucking stupid.
Yeah.
Like, and Emerald being like, I have no reason to lie for him. Like, bro,
Your job's on the line.
come on.
Yeah.
He came in at the end. He was laying.
Really?
They were all just naked, but just like having casual conversation, and you decided to lay on the bed.
It's just that Lexi showed up. We didn't know anything about her
It's
before
also
she got
what
casted.
a double
They're
size
not
bed,
nut
like
Yeah.
4 people fitting on this. Like,
Mhm.
you're getting cozy. You're close to a boob, regardless.
What is that nursery rhyme that's like there were 4 in the bed and the little one said roll over? Somebody did that.
It's but
know?
Lexi is this young woman who demonstrates the type of qualities that all of these women should want to get behind. She is poised. She seems to like know her self-worth. She like speaks up for herself. She has a strong will. She came on our show and conducted herself wonderfully. She's been gracious. Like, she doesn't seem to be all that messy, yet she speaks her truth. She'll stand up for herself. I don't think that's messy. And it's just the fact that those qualities are the qualities that these women seem to dislike, I just find to be fascinating and kind of hypocritical. Like, it's just such an eye roll for them to like identify themselves as a girl's girl when they're more pick me. I do believe Craig never bought that engagement ring.
Craig
will say-
definitely never
he
bought that
definitely-
He
engagement ring.
didn't. No.
I absolutely believe Paige
Like-
there.
we had to pause it because Connor's like, what do they mean? And I'm like, because when you buy a ring, it's already gonna like depreciate the second you step out of the store. because it's custom. If it's exactly what Paige wants, Paige doesn't want a manufactured like standard ring. She's gonna want like something engraved in it. This is my diamonds. I want the baguettes. Like you can't return that and be like, well, you could sell this under Craig's used.
What I
engagement ring.
need, I need to know the place when he's like, I took it back to the guy this morning. Who's the guy?
Who's the guy?
Can the guy
Jared?
vouch for that?
Name them.
But
No,
think-
like
think
I
about
need
it.
this guy to be like, oh yeah, here's the ring. Like yeah, Craig. Like that's and where is he?
Even when she said the whole like you took your girlfriend to return my ring, I was like, well, you know, she don't got
Well,
one
also
there.
think like when you get broken up with, you know, maybe there's not an engagement ring on the line, but that's a very common thing to be like, well, I guess I should just return this thing I got you, you know, like
the last ditch effort.
you know, it's a very like
Did you want this Birkin or do I need to return
Yeah.
it today?
like that happens all the time in a breakup.
Connor couldn't understand the concept. He was like, wait, so is he saying that if she saw the ring that she would stay, like get married to him? And I was like, yes, that is the delusional statement that is being made right now.
Yeah, him being like, I wish you would have.
Seen the ring first before you
Yeah.
decide to
You
break
know
up
who?
with me.
You know who we need? We need Emma. We need Lisa Barlow and Bronwyn's jeweler from Salt Lake
Oh,
City.
she would
to get to
definitely
the bottom
spill
of
some
this.
That
We need to
messy
know.
bitch. She would
Right?
definitely be like, yep, never seen him.
He's never been here before.
Yeah.
I wouldn't put it past Craig to find a jeweler to corroborate his story, even if it was made up.
Honestly, yeah. Even like when they replayed the Watch What Happens live thing, I was like, just the way that it was just like, yeah, no, I just went to the and returned it. I was like, no, you did not.
Oh yeah, him
The body
shifting
language,
all in
yeah.
his seat. I just
Actually,
returned it this morning.
Yeah.
tell me you're uncomfortable.
my-
I'm lying.
My question: where does Craig go from here on Southern Charm? I feel like everyone already knew he was a liar, but now everyone really just knows.
Oh, I'm
You
sure they're
cannot
gonna
trust a
just like
single word that comes out of that man's mouth.
They're gonna
he's
breeze
a storyteller.
through this.
He's a
I-
storyteller.
I just find what fascinating about Summer House is that, again, I would say Lexi, West, and Jesse, they represent what Summer House is supposed to be. And honestly, everyone in this OG cast, find a new job.
I'll follow that show. And then, yeah, they should bring in new young people that
Yeah.
want to be messy, that want to
Mhm.
hook up in a house. Like, even to Kyle's point about Emerald, he was like, that is kind of what the whole point of a summer house,
But
a
it
summer
just
share
it
is.
felt weird because no one else was doing it.
But if
so
you-
it felt like the fuck is Emerald doing here? Like, ew, gross. We don't do that because it's like we've been like with these people who aren't doing that for so long.
And
Yeah.
with the irony of it all, too, is that it's like in the first season, how we meet Amanda is because Kyle sneaks Amanda like into the house and they go like skinny dipping and they're having sex. And it's just like it's waking up everybody in the house. And it's just like you guys were
Yeah.
Emerald season one. Like,
Justice for Emerald. That's
He
all I
does
have
seem
to
like
say.
a sweet man.
He does.
Also,
Thank
Nick,
you.
Nick pointed this out, but the fact that Lexi, the new girl, was the only one to be like, we could have done better. Like, we could have asked you more questions.
Yeah.
That was
telling.
crazy.
yeah.
That was telling. That like no one else who'd been there, not even Kyle, his buddy, could have been like, yeah, bro, like I definitely could have helped you like navigate some relationships a little bit better. No one else said anything but Lexi.
They basically casted 3 new people because they felt like they didn't want to do their jobs anymore, and they decided to be a bunch of dicks to this new cast. Like that was the theme of this season. It's just like we're gonna cast a bunch of people we're not friends with and use them and throw them out like trash when we're done with them.
What?
I mean, that's a take.
Wait, what?
Like the original cast, they casted Emerald, Lexi, and Bailey, and like they used them. They used them for like the stuff they weren't willing to do, and threw them to the wayside.
Who used them? Producers?
The OG cast, this group of people.
How did they use Emerald?
Well,
and
Amanda,
Lexi?
like we know Amanda, like her Lexi was the one who was like, "Hey, do you want to come on the show?" I guess Kyle is the one who knew Emerald. Like they found these people and asked them, "Hey, do you want to be a part of this show?" With no real interest in becoming friends with these people or connecting with these people.
But even when Alex Baskin was here, he was saying that like when they're recasting a show, they typically go to the cast and ask if you have
Yeah.
any recommendations. But that like
And that's what I'm saying. It's just like
Yeah.
they didn't cast people they wanted to become friends with, to bring into the group, to like
Like
round
they
out
didn't
the
bring
group.
like Paige's best friend from home or like someone that they were actually friends with. Like this was clearly Amanda and Lexi weren't
but I feel
friends.
They
Like they
casted
were
people they looked better
acquaintances.
than.
They've gone to lunch before, grabbed a coffee, but like to Lexi's point, when Amanda's sitting there being like, "Oh my God, I always wanted them. Like I just need them to hook up," knowing that your friend Lexi is dating this man is like,
Yeah, I agree. I do agree with you guys on that. I think they definitely like set the two of them up to kind of just be the fall guy for the season when they are all kind of like past.
I mean,
Yeah.
all
if I
that.
watch next season and Sierra's still complaining about Wes, I'm turning it off. It's like,
I think by next season that's fair. I think this season it was like, well, yeah, there's going to be a blow up from it. Their dynamic has changed. She's going to have feelings about it. The reunion, I think, is just like we're going to talk about it at the reunion, get that closure, and then I don't want to hear about it anymore.
Okay, but we did talk about it all season. Are you convinced it's not going to happen?
I'm not convinced it's not going to happen. I'm just saying I hope it doesn't.
I
was agreeing with you, actually.
Progress. Anything else before we want to
Get to
move
Brianne.
on to Brianne?
I just want to say I thought we were all going to dress in like summer florals today.
I'm
and
wearing
I
green.
was- Okay, that's true.
I wear a light color.
Okay.
It's
That was
usually
all.
black.
I dressed for our next interview.
Yeah. I just kind of feel like a clown.
But he
that's
kind
okay.
of is
You look
giving. He's
nice.
kind of giving like
Thank you.
foresty.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm giving it's after Memorial Day and I'm ready for summer pant.
Yeah.
It's
No,
Labor
you
Day.
guys are all
That's
giving
what-
like classy,
No, after
classy
it's
summertime
before-
entrance, and
Right.
I'm
You can't wear white after Labor Day.
Exactly.
This was Memorial Day.
And that's why I'm wearing my pants.
I think you said that wrong. Run it back.
Anyways, Brianne Howey is up next, the star of Ginny in Georgia. Brianne Howey, who we get to chat with. She is very talented actress who does an incredible Southern accent. So incredible that I was kind of a bit taken back when I realized that was a fake accent. Anyways, she is also just a great person, and we can talk to her about motherhood, her acting career, how it's blown up, a fun conversation with Brianne, and her love for reality TV. Ginny in Georgia season 3 premieres this Thursday on Netflix. Check it out. I'm sure many of you are big fans, and you are well aware of it. It's a really great show. It's fun. If you haven't checked it out and you like a kind of, how would you describe it? It's
It's like mystery.
Murder mystery.
thriller,
Gilmore Girls with
drama.
murder.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
High stakes.
In like an unsuspected badass lead that she plays, who's a little messy,
Yeah.
you know,
Like
little
the
problematic.
anti-hero. You root for her,
Yeah.
but you know that you probably shouldn't, but then like you do, because if you were in that situation, what would you
It's
do?
got a little Breaking Bad element to it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
fun. Anyways, Brianne Howey. If you're running a business, you know that every time you miss a call, you are leaving money on the table. When every customer conversation matters, you need a phone system that keeps up and helps you stay connected 24/7. That's why you need OpenPhone.
OpenPhone is the #1 business phone system that streamlines and scales your customer communications. It works through an app on your phone or your computer, so no more carrying 2 phones or using a landline. With OpenPhone, your team can share one number and collaborate on customer calls and texts like a shared inbox. That way, any teammate can pick up right where the last person left off, keeping response times faster than ever. Plus, say goodbye to voicemail. Their AI agent can be set up in minutes to handle calls after hours, answer questions, and capture leads so you never miss a customer. Whether you're a one-person operation, drowning in calls and texts, or a large team that needs better collaboration tools, OpenPhone is a no-brainer. See why over 60,000 businesses trust OpenPhone.
OpenPhone is offering our listeners 20% off your first 6 months at openphone.com/VIALL. That is OPENPHONE.com/VIALL. And if you have existing numbers with another service, OpenPhone will port them over at no extra charge. OpenPhone, no missed calls, no missed customers. If you are a renter, you should be taking advantage of Built. We rack up points on groceries, travel, and nearly everything else. So why not on your biggest monthly expense, your rent? With Built, paying rent finally pays off.
There's no cost to join, and just by paying rent, you unlock flexible points that can be transferred to your favorite hotels and airlines, a future rent payment, your next Lyft ride, and more. When you pay rent through Built, you unlock 2 powerful benefits. First, you earn one of the industry's most valuable points on rent every month, no matter where you live or who your landlord is. Your rent now works for you. Second, you gain access to exclusive neighborhood benefits in your city. Built's neighborhood benefits are things like extra points on dining out, complimentary post-workout shakes, free mats or towels at your favorite fitness studios, and unique experiences that only Built members can access. And when you're ready to travel, Built points can be converted to your favorite miles and hotel points around the world, meaning your rent can literally take you places. So if you're not earning points on rent, my question is, what are you waiting for?
I mean, truly, this is one of those like, duh. I mean, if you pay rent, why wouldn't you get something for it? Start paying rent through Built and take advantage of your neighborhood benefits by going to joinbuilt.com/VIALL. That's JOINBILT.com/VIALL. Make sure to use our URL so they know that we sent you. Joinbuilt.com/VIALL to sign up for Built today. Well, guys, every time I drive past a mattress store, I'm thinking, why? What's the point? It seems like a waste of money and your time, because we all like, what's the point of going? Everyone wants to know, am I going to have a great night of sleep? Well, we can tell you with Helix Sleep, we've been sleeping on that mattress for the better part of 5 years now. It's never been more comfortable. And now since we have a couple of places we sleep, we have a make sure that we have a Helix mattress wherever we go. We gift Helix mattresses to our friends and family.
Helix Sleep is the perfect place to get the perfect mattresses. They have a lineup of 20 unique mattresses. So whether you're a back sleeper, stomach sleeper, side sleeper, fetal position sleeper, upside down sleeper, whatever you are, Helix has a mattress for you. They have award-winning luxe and ultra premium elite collections. You can get a 100-night trial and a 10 to 15-year warranty to try out your new Helix Sleep mattresses. And it is recommended by multiple leading chiropractors and doctors of sleep medicine as a go-to solution for improving your sleep. For their summer sale, go to helixsleep.com/VIALL for 20% off site-wide. That's helixsleep.com/VIALL for 20% off site-wide. helixsleep.com/VIALL.
Brianne, welcome.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm wonderful. Thank you so much for having
We're
me.
so
It's so nice to
excited
meet you both.
have you. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, we're so excited. Been big fans, huge fans of
Aw.
Ginny and Georgia.
Oh my God, thank you.
It's such a fascinating show because the character you play is so dynamic.
Sure is.
First of all, like as a young mother yourself, it's a kind of weird question. You know, people often ask, like, how do you relate to your character?
Right.
I imagine a lot of ways you don't relate to your character.
Yeah, no, especially because like I was playing mom roles before I was a mom. So it was more just like relating to it in the sense of like I have 4 younger siblings. They're my whole world. I would do anything for them. So that was like the closest I could get. But then yeah, now I am actually a mom. So
And
it's very
Do
different.
you feel like you act maybe a little bit better because you are now a mom?
You know what happened? And I think, okay, so look, my daughter she'll be 2 in a month. So we're still
Fine.
like, I mean, not totally beginning phases, but like she's still very little.
Yeah.
I just felt like I was such a sap. Like I just felt like I was so weepy all season. And like that, I was like, God damn it, Brianne. Like, no,
it's
that
harder.
wasn't the move. Like,
Yeah.
so hopefully that will change. I think it was just like the first year going back at it, like just back to work and everything. But I felt like it made me too soft almost.
Interesting.
Which isn't great for
It, like
Georgia.
everything is too relatable.
Almost.
You know?
Like
Yeah.
some of the stuff for this upcoming season, it gets so dark. In my opinion, again, I was maybe too sensitive this past
Yeah.
season.
I mean,
but it like broke my heart.
She murders people.
Yes, yes. And like, yeah, wait till you see, like halfway through this season, everything that goes on. I mean, Georgia, like all of the consequences come to the surface this season. Like, she gets in a lot of trouble.
So one thing I was curious about, because like obviously, well, we're hoping you don't relate much to your character. But you know, as a new parent myself, there is like, and maybe it's a dad thing. I imagine now, you know, Natalie has some real like impressive like mama line energy. You know,
Oh,
very
of course.
protective of her family.
Absolutely.
And I wondered if like, while you don't obviously relate to some of Georgia's antics, there must be an element of like the way she goes about protecting her family and
course.
surviving in a way that obviously as a good human being you would never do. But is there ever an element when you're playing the character where you at least appreciate her resiliency and just like how she's, you know, she really will at the end of the day protect her family?
Oh, 100%. I mean, like, first and foremost, of course, Georgia's very polarizing, but like, as someone playing Georgia, I would never judge her. Like, in no way, shape, or form. I love her and respect her. All of her shortcomings are only because she has a very limited toolbox. But I admire the amount of space she takes up. Like, I feel like, who knows what I could have accomplished if I took up that much space all the time for my whole life. So I love that about her. And I love, like, when I read the pilot for the first time, it was the scene where she, like, punches the kid in the face. Well, she doesn't really punch him, but, like, she twists his nose a little bit, and, like, her son punches him. But, like, I
went a little far for sure.
For sure. But like I've had, when my siblings told me someone was mean to them at school or something, the rage I feel inside. And I can only imagine once my daughter's old enough.
Oh, me at the park with my 15-month-old, there will be, I don't know what it is about 6, 7-year-old who just, they think she's so disgusting and will like run from her being like, ew,
Well, they're like, baby.
This little boy tried to like hit her with the swing and it took everything out of me not
It's
to
so hard.
assault a child, you know, like in like the most respectful way possible, of course.
Yes.
But like his parents were on their phone, like not paying
yeah.
attention. And I'm like, your kid is a terror on this playground. So
Yeah.
I get where
Unfortunately, in
you're
those
coming from.
moments, we can't do what Georgia would do.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Has there been anything that you've taken from your character parenting wise and related to your real life daughter?
You know, I mean, probably only bad things, unfortunately. Like before I was a mom, I thought like the most annoying thing about Georgia was how all over Ginny she was. And she's always in her space. And like the entitlement that she expects to know everything about Ginny. I was like, I mean, it's crossing a line. This is toxic, blah, blah, blah. But now that I have an almost 2-year-old, I'm like, nope, she's going to go to UCLA. We're going to have lunch every day. She's going to tell me everything. I need to know everything. No, yeah.
I'm going to go to bed reading her text messages.
100%. She's not allowed to go do, no.
I think before, we're parents, it's very easy to like talk about what you would never do when you see other parents like
100%.
crossing boundaries, and then you're in it and you're just like, well,
I'm like, of course she's going to watch Elmo right now. What are you talking about? Of course we're doing screen time. And before I'm like, no, we will never have a phone out at a dinner, ever. And now I'm like, cue up Miss Rachel. It's time.
Get the iPad.
Yeah. And now she goes iPad. And I'm like, oh no.
I imagine when you like do go into season 1, obviously like the acting space is highly competitive. And I think, you're always just happy to like book the job, right?
Yes.
And then you get picked up for a season 2. And I'm sure you have a utmost respect for the writers in the room and things like that. But as a character on the show, as a season matures, is there a balance between like the writers going to you and getting your input about the character? Or are you very much like, hey, that's their lane, I'll stay in mine? How does that dynamic work as a show matures?
Yeah, it's an interesting point because it's also like this will be my first time going into a 4th season, like doing our 3rd season. That was my first time doing a 3rd season of anything. Yeah, so you can't anticipate where these things are going or where the story's going, especially. I tend to stay in my lane. I think it's every now and then they will ask, of course. And maybe on other shows, it is a little bit more of a collaboration at times. But I think for us with Ginny and Georgia, it's so specific, especially like with Georgia and her cadence. I love the way that they write for Georgia. It's so beautiful. So for the most part, I pretty much, they've gotten us this far. I really just trust them. And I am impressed. And I don't know how they come up with this stuff. Our creator and writer's room is amazing.
Are you the type of actor who, like, do you want to watch it back? No, you don't.
No, I do because I think it's so important. And like, we have to, come talk about the show. And like, it's nice to know you do so many different versions, so many different takes. It's fun to see, of course, how
What
it all
they
shakes
choose,
out.
yeah.
But I still struggle with being objective. I don't know how people do that. It's so hard. I'll still be like, oh, I wish I did it this way. Or why'd they choose that take? Or I'm holding that thing weird. Or like whatever. I don't know for sure.
How did you prepare to play a character like Georgia?
So, I mean, this is where I feel lucky that like I grew up with a young single mom. It's just was kind of kismet. There's so much of my mom and her energy in this character. Like, I feel like I kind of grew up as Ginny a little bit. Like, my mom had me at 21. We didn't have any boundaries. So much of what was on the page, I could relate to. It just wasn't, I think a lot of what was jarring in Ginny and Georgia just wasn't that jarring for me. I think because like I have had some of those conversations. And I have so many younger siblings. Both my parents remarried and had more, so I have half siblings. But we have larger age gaps. So then I've always sort of felt like an aunt to them also in a way. Somehow it was just kind of natural.
Okay.
Do you do any sort of character study? Maybe even like you did it in the beginning, but do you like or do you feel like you know Georgia to her bones?
Definitely, like with each season, of course, there's more confidence. Like for season 1, we definitely had so many conversations with our creator that like we wanted Georgia to feel like she's the anti-hero a little bit. Like there's a little Tony Soprano in there.
Yeah.
There's a little bit of Walt from Breaking Bad. There's a little bit of Mary Louise Parker from Weeds. And we wanted that she's kind of a collaboration of all these things. And that when Georgia's big mad, she's the Hulk. And that's when we get scary Georgia. So we do I guess we did kind of color in all the different versions of Georgia because she also takes so many like hard right turns. So it's like we're jumping from like scary Georgia to like, oh, goofy Georgia.
Yeah.
To like flirty Georgia. And then also depending on who Georgia's talking to, she's a very different person. Depending on all the men in her life, like she responds and acts very differently with all of them and has a different mask on. So season 1, we actually got more specific in that way, talking about the character. And then with each season, getting like the luxury of getting to go back, it stays in you a lot longer, I think, than I anticipated.
Really
now that Georgia's in court, I read, are you a fan of true crime?
Sure am.
Were you able to pull from any like court cases that you followed or just try to like emulate again, just like
Gwyneth Paltrow, maybe.
Well, I know, right? I'm gonna forget the name now, but while we were shooting, I mean, are you guys big true crime people? Do you remember the case?
Nellie's huge.
Okay,
Yeah.
the woman, it's like the Boston police and she
Karen Reed.
Karen Reed.
Yes,
Oh
yes.
my God.
Okay,
It's on
Taylor.
right now.
Karen
Her
Reed
second trial.
Is it right now?
Yes,
oh my
right
God, you guys,
now.
I'm so behind. Okay.
She
I know what I'm
honestly introduced
listening
me to it like the other day.
We've been fighting nonstop about it because he's like not on my side anymore.
No, first I was totally on her side. Like, first I was like, oh no, like I've definitely seen The Departed. These cops are crooked.
Right.
Like she definitely didn't do it. But then the more I watched, I'm just like,
Unfortunately, I know.
I thought
It's
it was
like-
crazy how like I have gotten so many DMs from locals
Really?
and they're like hairdressers and they know the tea and they're like, she's definitely being framed.
See, when my
They know.
that was my first instinct,
Yeah.
and that's what got me. Okay, which is the perfect segue into Georgia. That the Karen Reed trial was happening, and in my mind, I was like, Georgia would act like she was being framed too for all of this, 100%.
Oh,
Like that's
100%.
exactly what Georgia would do.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So I
watching
for
the
sure
trailer, it
had
kind of
that-
reminded me a little Karen Reed a little bit, where it's just like this very likable, very charming defendant who you wanna believe her.
Well, and she knows what she's doing with her storytelling and like the way she, I don't know, all of the moves she was making were intentional, and the way you dress and the way you act and the way you lean into the jury. And
Did you learn a lot about like the court system I'm sure
Yeah, a little
Yeah,
bit. I
yeah.
mean, we did that. Yeah, you do the scene so many times, you start to
figure it out.
Yeah,
But it is
memorize
crazy. I
everyone's
feel
roles.
like watching this Karen Reed trial. Yeah, there's a lot of like, don't sit like this.
Yeah.
Don't smile, but also maybe smile a little bit so that you don't look like
Exactly.
such a bitch, but not
Yeah.
so much that you're happy that it's like I
Yeah.
feel like there's a lot of
There's a lot to think about.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah, like who's your body language, how you're being perceived.
totally.
There's so many subtleties
Yeah.
about. I mean, I learned that being on reality TV, where you're like, oh my God, like when there's a camera on you 24/7, just like picking up every little
Yeah.
quirk that you have, or just like your resting face,
Yeah.
and just how like unfortunate that can be, and how useful it is
It's
to an
just
editor.
stressful.
Yeah, it's like you're just like,
Yeah. Do you still feel like were you able to shake it?
yeah. I mean, I guess for better or
No.
worse, my gift was always just, I guess, being like, oh, this is who I am. I
Yeah.
don't know, like it's something I can do about it. But it was just more eye opening.
Yeah.
Like I suppose, and as an actor, you get used to seeing yourself on camera playing a role. But before that, I just was like, I wouldn't listen to myself on a voicemail recording. So
Those were the days, right?
Yeah.
When that's the only time you would hear your voice back. And you're like, that's what I sound like.
Ew.
But I remember that.
yeah, it was such
Yeah.
a weird thing. And then now I'm watching it back, leaving me like, oh my, I've never met this person. Like, oh my,
Yeah.
ooh.
It's
like,
so
I hate him
weird.
too.
No.
So has your husband watched any?
Oh, of course.
Yeah, he does.
That was my first hint that maybe the show was going to go somewhere
Mm.
because Netflix put it in our account before it gets released, and it was
Oh,
season
cool.
1. And I told him, I was like, all right, it's in our account. I was like, I'm gonna go watch some. And he was like, okay, I'll watch with you. And in my head, I'm like, all right, I'll stick around for 1. He watched 4 in a row with me, and I was like, you don't have to
Aw.
watch this. He's like, no, like
It's
let's
good.
watch the next one. Like what happens next? And I was like, oh my God,
That's
we might be
exciting.
onto something.
Yeah.
Well,
that's
there is something
exciting.
about, you mentioned the,
Yeah.
Walter, and like there's the anti-hero. There's something about those types of characters that we love because we may not be Georgia, we may not be Walter, but we all are imperfect people
Yeah.
who
Do a little
do
bad
things
for
that we're not
good.
proud of, but like we want to believe that we're noble, good people, and for
Yeah.
the most part we are. And I think sometimes watching those complicated characters that we still want to root for, there's something to
Yeah.
relate to, even though maybe we're not relating to the
Right. I think too, it's like people who can be victims of circumstance or feel like they fell through the
Yeah.
cracks. You root for them in a different way because you really feel like it's not their fault. And like limitations that Georgia has and that all of us have to an extent isn't our fault. Granted, it's important to work on them. And I think that's what this season does really well. It's like, okay, we're very aware now of every character's shortcomings and like, what are we going to do about it, guys?
Yeah.
So we finally start to see that this season, which is really cool. But I think because I think she's relatable to a lot of people in that way because she is so far from perfect.
We love a good meet cute story. How did you meet your
Oh.
husband?
So Matt and I met. How does this story go? It was a while ago now. It was like 9 years ago. Okay, I went to NYU. Matt went to New School. We're both from Southern California. I grew up in Pasadena. He grew up in Santa Monica. We both are in New York at the same time. Never meet. Both finish school, come back to LA. I start hanging out with his New York friends just through mutual friends and like just having a fun kind of like party summer. It's the end of the summer. Matt appears out of nowhere to hang out with his friends. And I'm like, who are you and where have you been? He was studying to take the bar. So he just went MIA for that summer, but he finally took it, then started like going back out again, had a social life. I was with all of his friends. We ran into each other 4 nights in a row and have been together ever since then, basically. But when we got married, it wasn't until we were each saying our vows that he said in his vows that out of the 4 times we met, the final 2, he found out where I was. They were not on accident. And this whole time I thought it was like very serendipitous. And like, I can't believe we ran into each other 4 nights in a row, out and about in LA.
I mean, your wedding's a good time. It's a safe place to admit you stalked. You know, it's like, I don't know when the good time is going to be, but like, she probably.
What was your
Now that we've
reaction?
spent all
at
the money,
altar.
I was like just crying and laughing.
It
It was like, I felt silly, actually. I more just felt silly. I was like, of course he did. Why did I think it was completely random 4 nights in a row?
I have to go apologize to the cash register at Gelson's that I was telling the story.
It's like
to.
I have told that story maybe 17 times, very publicly.
Of course.
But now we have the correct version.
Okay, thank
Yes.
God. What is we have daughters in the same almost
Yeah.
age. What like phase is she in right now?
I mean, this girl is like running, monologuing. She's new sentences every day. She is just a sponge. She's very independent. She was like if she's doing something and doesn't want to be interrupted, she'll be like, no, mama dare. Like she doesn't want you coming close to her to like, I don't know,
Bother her?
touch her or even like let her do it. She wants to like go up and down the stairs by herself, picking out her clothes.
Oh, really?
I mean, and I'll just give her like 2 options,
Oh,
right?
right,
Like
right. Yeah,
this shirt or this shirt.
Yeah.
She loves counting. She can count up to 15, but she will always skip 4 through 7. Don't know, like we
Hate those
I don't
numbers.
know. She loves going to the her little baby gym. Like she like loves doing like somersaults and stuff. She still needs help,
gosh.
but like we went to the Getty on Sunday and there were kids like doing like 10-year-old girls like doing cartwheels
Yeah.
and stuff. And then she goes and like tries to legit do these somersaults and she just goes into like a yoga pose, kind of like downward dog, and then falls to the right or left.
Perfect.
But it's very sweet and cute.
How are her like? Is she a tantrum kind of?
Yes.
How are we
Yeah.
handling those?
We're
entering our
we're
tantrum
entering that
phase.
phase.
I would
Yeah.
just start saying no sooner. We didn't use a lot of no's at first because I don't know, you want them to explore and it's so
Yeah.
exciting and they learn something new and you want to try something different to be fun. Like one time we ate dinner outside and then now it's like outside dinner. And like every night I'm like, well, we can't eat dinner outside every night. And like I don't want to cave all the time, but then you kind of just cave.
I read some quote that was like, only say no if it's dangerous to like them or
That's the
someone
thing,
else. So
yeah.
I've been thinking about that, but then
Like
she,
I'm like, it's not that bad, but then I'm like, now she's kind of running the house.
Well, that's the thing about the internet. Sometimes you really got to be careful whether it's getting your Karen Reed news
Yes.
or like parenting advice because like anything can sound good
Yeah.
if worded correctly.
with like a
Exactly.
nice
You know?
soothing voice.
Well,
behind
you
it.
know what? I think the one thing that's working instead of like just saying the same thing 19 times, like it's bath time, it's bath time, it's bath time. She's like, no. It's like, do you want to be a shark?
Yeah.
Let's go be sharks.
Like, what have you?
That's
yeah,
working the most.
Wait, that's a
And
great
it's
question.
The rebranding.
What?
Good.
Yes. What is your favorite toddler rebrand?
Yeah, that's like I
Like
saw,
bath
and I
time?
actually, I did see this on Instagram, which is embarrassing, but it was like some woman said to get her toddler to eat fish, she called it beach chicken. So then the kid was like,
Perfect.
I want beach chicken. And I was like, that's genius. It's all rebranding
It
closer
is.
to the toddler age,
Yeah,
but it's
yeah,
just
yeah.
rebranding.
Beach
and it's like,
candy.
yeah,
beach,
and like brushing her
whatever.
teeth. I'm like, let's get the, like,
My sister used to call them
so-
sugar bugs.
Yeah, exactly. Let's get the bugs
Yeah.
out. Or like she has a really fun toothbrush. Or like, and like people have told me like when it comes time to potty train, like just cave and get the like Barbie underwear or whatever they want. That's
Yeah.
exciting.
Yeah.
And like whatever, fine.
As a second oldest of 11, I grew up watching a lot of Disney programming, and then I haven't in quite some time. I've been rewatching a lot of
Oh yes.
old Disney movies.
Yes.
Is that something that you guys relate to? And have you
We-
found that any of them don't hold up like
I
they
mean,
used
she
to?
loves Little Mermaid. The thing about
That
her is
one's
like,
good.
I mean, she's obsessed with Moana. I've only seen, though, the first like 12 minutes, but like 19 times.
Yeah.
She only likes it when she's a baby. Like she only wants to watch baby Moana. And we took a flight most recently. So actually, and Moana was on the plane, and it was the first time we made it a little bit deeper in. But I was like, it's kind of scary halfway
It
through.
is,
Like
it
some
is.
crazy stuff happens.
I feel like most of them are scary, and I am
are.
confused
Honestly,
why
I watched
we're making
Aladdin
them.
for the first time in a while, and I was like, I feels too adult.
Yeah.
What? But I watched Frozen for the first time. Really
He
enjoyed
cried.
that.
Oh, I
Yeah.
haven't even watched it yet.
I think I've only watched like the first 12 minutes as well. So,
But it was just like
she was no longer paying attention, and Nick
Oh,
was
okay.
still sitting watching.
Well,
so.
you know, like the sister bond. I was really
Yeah.
charmed by that, and it like made me really want to like have a sister for River. I don't know. It was movies.
Yeah.
Movies get me. You know.
Yeah.
I did read. What is it? What was that headline somewhere? Like people who cry in movies are apparently smarter or something.
Yes, of course.
Did you just make that up?
No, it's in the group chat.
Yeah,
Like, and
I
people-
saw that though. The people who fall asleep watching true crime as well.
Yeah, awesome.
Yeah, and
So
people who
smart.
smoke a lot of weed also
Yeah.
are probably very
Geniuses.
smart.
Yeah.
It says there's no definitive evidence
Oh.
to suggest that people who cry while watching movies are inherently smarter.
But there's evidence. It's just not.
Yeah.
definitive.
Yeah,
It's
it's
not
evidence
there.
from the people who do it.
Is
yeah.
she closer to you or your husband? Or are y'all kind of equal?
I mean, look, she's a little bit closer with me. But I also I work a lot, and like Matt's amazing, and like he can work from home ever since COVID. So I would not be able to work at the capacity that I do without him like being as hands-on as he is. But, you know, of course, there's like for now, we want mama.
Did you enjoy when you met Matt, like the fact that he wasn't in entertainment?
Yeah. For me, it just makes more, I don't know. It just, I like the separation of church and state. I think like the industry can be so weird and it's such a bubble. And like I could get really in my head about things.
It
And
keeps you grounded in a way.
so
Yeah.
much. Like,
Yeah.
it's very nice.
You have an amazing accent.
Oh, thank you.
in Georgia. Is that something you had to develop, or were you always really good at that type of accent?
No, we
You
worked
weren't?
on it. We had a dialect coach season
Okay.
1, especially to like, of course, for me. And then also 2 of the main actors are Australian, Felix and
wow.
Diesel. So Felix plays the cute boyfriend,
Right,
and then
right.
Diesel's Georgia's son, or Austin. And then also the Canadians, just for a couple of mums here and there.
Mm.
But no, we had a dialect coach, and that was super helpful.
Is that fun to do, or like for me, I'm so bad at accents. It would just be like it would take up so much brain capacity. I mean, you're already acting,
Yeah,
which
it's
is
an added
already
layer.
like it's
I
like,
would say the one thing, like, I would normally be able to improvise a lot more, but like improvising with the accent is a little bit trickier. But kind of going back to what I was saying before, too, like the way they write Georgia, the accent is almost built in, like the cadence.
Mm.
They're so good at it that like I hear the Georgia accent when I'm reading it because I think they write it in. Like,
Is it easy for you to like slip it
more
into
so now.
conversation?
Like season 1 for sure. It was like I was going through like with iambic pentameter and like crossing out all the G's
Nice.
and like doing the diphthongs and like stuff that I learned in college that I thought would never come in handy. And I'm like,
Right.
oh my God, I like had an old CD from college about like
Wow.
tips and tricks. And I was like, I don't even think laptops I can't insert a CD anywhere anymore. But so yeah, seasons 1 and 2, like 1 definitely required the most work. But it's cool. It does stick with you. But yeah, like I'll also go back and like watch or like even listen to some country songs, little Reba.
There you go.
Sometime.
It says here you're watching the studio.
Yes.
As someone who works very much in the industry, have you found it to be like wonderfully like relatable and charming?
Yeah.
What-
Are you
what-
guys watching it?
Oh yeah.
Okay. The one take where like the when he goes to set.
Oh my God. The
I
hardest episode to watch.
I was dying. I have never seen anything so relatable and hysterical, and they nailed it.
They did.
It just, the stakes are so high. Like trying to get the light, like making sure you get that magic hour light and in one take. And like, I mean, the stakes are, you have the weight of the world on your shoulders, and they nailed it. I thought it was amazing.
Have you been able to like interact with a lot of executives? Because I feel like what's cool about this show is they do humanize like a character in Hollywood that we
Yeah.
often don't talk about or get access to. So much so, like I love the Golden Globes episode where it was just like,
So good.
you know, just like the
She's like,
the
oh, I'm
va-
not going to win. Of course I'm going to
the
win.
validation like his character
Yeah.
needed. I just thought was like just
It's
so
so
great.
relatable.
Yeah.
Like, Yeah.
Has there been a moment where you kind of like saw yourself in that character of Zoe Kravitz where you're like, I need to not, but maybe I will, but no, I won't, but I think I will.
Honestly, I actually was like, maybe that's the move. Like, maybe that is the move. It's just like, no, of course not. No. Oh, it's not about that. Because I kind of bought it in the beginning. And I was like, good for her.
Me too.
So I actually kind of admired it. Yeah, maybe that is, yeah.
Has there been like a highlight or favorite memory of this past month that you've had?
Oh, I mean, actually, this has been a really fun month. I got to go to Beyonce. So
I
that
saw
was
that on
amazing.
Instagram, yeah.
How was Blue Ivy?
I mean, so I have been saying ever since I got pregnant, like my daughter will never be in the entertainment industry ever. And then watching Blue Ivy on stage with Beyonce, I was crying and I was like, she could do it. She could be an actress if she wants. It's okay.
We can do it
It's
together.
fine. Yeah, it's okay.
That was a really, I don't know if they're doing a documentary or something, but I saw where like the first time she went out, Blue was, young. And the response was very negative because
Yeah.
she had just kind of like jumped in and she was
Yes.
like, no, I read all those. I've been grinding with these dancers. I've been
You could
working
tell.
every day. And
I mean,
she's
I
gotten
don't know how
so
old she
good.
is. She owned the stage.
Yeah.
Like it was an incredible 2.5 hours.
Wow.
It was. I'm so proud of her. Don't know her,
so
but I'm
proud
so
of
proud
her
of her.
too.
I mean, what is something, if let's say your daughter decided to get into entertainment,
Yeah.
you know, like you're someone who's made a whole career out of it. I don't know you that well, but just gotten to know you. You seem like a really grounded,
Oh,
like,
thank you.
normal,
Yeah.
cool person. And I imagine like any parent like yourself who's in entertainment, whose initial thought is, I don't know if I want my child to do
Yeah.
that, is that fear of just kind of how delulu like Hollywood can be and
Yeah.
how out of touch it's easy to get to, you know, just
100%.
because it is so, I don't know, it's so
It's a
self-serving. And
bubble.
yeah, it's a bubble. And like, it's, you know, so what do you think has allowed you to stay grounded, to be, you know, a very relatable, normal person, all while also being incredibly successful in this space?
Oh, well, thank you. For an industry that doesn't have, like, there's nothing linear about this. Like, everyone's path is so different and looks so different. I've had a shockingly linear path. Like, I started out with one line and then that turned into a couple of lines. Like, I didn't really skip any steps. And like, I went to college and like, I felt like I was a little behind when I graduated because everyone I was auditioning against didn't and like had 4 more years on their resume and like, of like, you know, hitting the pavement. So I think because, yeah, I've like kind of had a steady pace. Nothing happened too soon, too fast, to be honest. Yeah, I think that has kind of helped. And then I've worked like pretty steadily this whole time. But Ginny and George is the first thing that like took off into the stratosphere in this way. Like none of the other stuff did. And it's still, I'm so proud of it and it's amazing. But this is one of the first things that like really launched.
I mean, that's a good point. I mean, I think, you know, I didn't go on reality TV until I was in my early 30s. A lot of my peers, it was like my early 20s.
Yeah.
And I'm honestly like really grateful for that because had I done that 10 years
Uh-huh.
earlier, how I handled
Yep.
myself, I think would have been very different and a lot
Totally.
less healthy. And I
Yeah.
would have been a lot less resilient. And yeah, you must feel like a little bit that's, now that you look back, I'm sure there were times early in your career where you compare yourself to someone else
of
and you wish you
course.
got this and
Yeah.
you saw someone's like star rise faster than yours. But now that you're in the position that you're in, yeah, I imagine you've been able to almost feel like you've been able to both have like this wonderfully cool normal life and then fulfill your dreams at the same time.
That's very sweet. Look, I'm still comparing myself to people,
Sure.
of course, but that's a really nice way of framing it. Yeah.
That being said, do you feel like now, kind of you mentioned, is like, do you kind of feel like it's like, you know, it's like, it's kind of getting my time. Things are popping. Like, I don't know. Like, I think it's all kind of happening for me, like a little bit. Like,
It's been a great year.
Yeah.
Like, it was really cool to get to go do, like, right before we shot season 3, I got to do a movie with Netflix called Kind of Pregnant with
Yeah.
Amy Schumer and an incredible cast. It was with Happy Madison. And
Didn't I
yeah, it
hear-
was a dream.
Didn't I hear that you used like your
My real
actual
birth story. Yeah.
Wow.
And that was all like none of that was in the script. And Amy called me the night before and was like, let's just up the ante. Let's take this to the next level. Like, would you be willing to talk about your birth story? And I was like, for sure. I'm very nervous to do this, but yeah, let's go do this.
Had that ever been something that you had talked about publicly before?
No,
not at all.
no, I know.
Were you like nervous?
Of course.
Yeah.
Because also, like, I don't even know how much I've really processed all that still, probably. Like,
Yeah.
and I guess that's kind of what the movie is about, is that, like, this happens and then you don't process any of it. And,
Mhm.
like, it's just welcome.
You're just thrown
to
into
pretty
the-
much.
yeah.
Yeah. But no, especially because, like, I don't know. I remember when I was pregnant, I heard so many scary, scary stories, and it freaked me out. And like, I don't want to like perpetuate that for everybody because, like,
Freak anyone
up
out.
until that happened, everything was very smooth.
Yeah.
How was your
yeah.
experience?
Mine was honestly very lovely. I got an
Nice.
epidural,
Yeah,
and
me too.
I would love to have one of those maybe every Saturday
Yeah,
night.
why not? Why
Honestly.
not?
Why
Yeah.
not? And everything worked out how it should have.
Yeah.
And my mom was there recording. Nick
Oh
was
my god!
so we were able to a few days later, a week or so later,
Wow.
once we had like come down,
Yeah.
be able to look back and watch it back, and we saw that like the umbilical cord was very much wrapped around her
Wow.
neck, and like we didn't know that until a week later. So like we were just glad that everything happened the way it did,
Yeah.
and we were able to be as present as possible. But
Mhm.
in one of those videos, it was really sweet. They took her to get her like nose sucked
Yeah.
out or whatever, and she was crying, and Nick went over there to her, and she just like stopped crying and like turned her head to
Stop.
him, and it was like she knew his voice, and it was
So
the sweetest
sweet.
thing ever.
It is crazy.
They
though.
really do know the
They
voice.
know.
Yeah.
They
It's,
know.
They really do.
Even those moments, obviously, like, obviously complications aside, can make moments like that traumatic and certainly memorable. But like, it's like some of those like life's biggest moments you
Yeah.
anticipate your whole life,
Yeah.
whether it was our wedding or the birth of our child. You're like, wait, it's over. It happened. Like it just goes
It's so surreal.
because in your head you
Yeah.
imagine it to like you think time's gonna slow down.
Yeah.
You know, you imagine there's gonna be like a marching band perform,
Right.
and you're just like, wait, that was
it.
That was it.
That
You know?
there was a little blip.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it was that was kind of one of my takeaways, like, oh, that was awesome and magical and
Yeah.
amazing. And she's here, but like, wait, what just happened?
What happened?
Like, I thought that happened already.
Yeah.
Like, it was a really crazy experience.
It's out of body.
Is there a moment of your birth that you look back and you are obviously there was a lot that happened, but is there moments that you can like pick and choose from that do make you happy and like, you see
Yeah.
the-
I mean, honestly, so many. I'll never forget her laying on my chest for the first time. I'm God, no, I'm going to cry, you guys.
No, it's
I
so
remember
sweet.
when they went to go weigh her for the first time. And then my Matt walked over and looked at her and he like put his hand towards her and she gripped it and he just started
Yes.
bawling.
Yes.
I've never seen him cry so hard. But also she started coming out so fast. He almost missed the whole thing. He went to go get food. He went to Egg Slut across the street. We were at Cedars. He almost missed the whole thing because it was 25 minutes. Like it happened very fast.
Yeah, it
Wow.
was a
Yeah, mine was
similar-
fast
Yeah.
too.
Yeah.
She was like crowning, and they're like,
Yes.
"So your doctor's parking.
Yes.
We'll just keep her
Yes.
there for a moment."
Yeah, they were like, "Oh, hold on, she's not here yet." And they're like, "And where's Dad?"
breathe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, "He's getting food." They're like, "In the cafeteria, right?" And I was like, "Nope, he has left the vicinity."
That's what I
He
did.
is
I was like,
long
I'm not in the
gone.
cafeteria.
Yeah,
food
he's
here.
like, "I'm not eating this."
Yeah.
He walked in holding tater tots, and they go, "Dad, grab a leg." And then he was like, "What? And I was like, "It's happening now." And he's like, "They said it was going to happen in the afternoon." And I was like, "It's happening now."
He's like, "Wait, but if we just can we
Yeah.
just look at the time?"
And then he's like, "Do
No,
you
but
want a
they
tater
said.
tot?" And I was like, "No, it's happening now. We gotta go."
"We've got to go."
But like that, when I think about that, it makes me laugh.
Yeah,
And, like that's
yeah,
a sweet
yeah.
moment.
Yeah,
and,
that is
and the
sweet.
nurses were so sweet. And one of my nurses had on Real Housewives of Orange County Scrubs, but it was
Ooh,
the
love.
meme of Taylor with the cat.
Yes.
Have you seen that?
Yes.
Of course. So that
Oh my
was
God.
it was all over her scrubs, and I just felt like it was a sign from the universe. And I was like, "You're my girl," and like we're meant to do this together. And
What's your
you.
favorite Housewives franchise?
I mean, probably it's too. Each season is so different, but like I thought Beverly Hills was amazing this season. OC like lost its way, but it's been bad. Like the last 2 seasons of OC, I thought were amazing, and then Salt Lake has always delivered. New York, I've always loved, but I wasn't as enthralled with
Right.
like the most recent installment. So it just depends.
Have you been getting into the Valley?
No, but only because I'm behind.
Okay.
I'm going to.
That one's crazy.
it
It's
so
dark.
bad?
Yeah.
It's just dark.
Oh.
It's also awesome.
Yeah. Well, dark makes for great reality TV.
Yeah, but it's just, maybe it's as a
Well,
new parent.
Are there
I-
a lot of divorces this season, or is just the one?
there's the one.
Two.
Yeah, that's
What?
Jackson,
two.
Brittany, and Michelle, and
Yeah, it's as a fan of reality TV and being in this season of life,
Yeah.
I really appreciate the Valley.
Yeah.
It's sometimes a tough watch because you're like, we cover it. I've been a part of it. I don't think people, and as a host of the show,
Mhm.
I don't think fans of reality TV fully appreciate what reality stars are willing to do for our entertainment.
Oh, we owe them everything.
Yeah.
Everything.
I could never do it. Never.
And so like I'm trying to find that balance between, you know, like as you know, we love to critique and talk about it and use it as like a launching pad for conversations about our lives, you know. It's easy to be critical, especially like their willingness to show things that you're like, I don't know if this seems a little wrong. But at the same time, I'm just like, oh my God, thank God people are willing
We
to do this.
can't judge them
Yeah.
because they're doing a great service.
They are.
Truly.
They really
Yeah.
are. Did you watch Secret Lives of Mormon Wives season 1?
Of course. I loved it.
What is your favorite reality? Like, you're sitting at home, you can turn them all on. Which one are
Look,
you?
I love a below deck.
Really?
I know it's kind of random. I love a below deck. I just love it because it doesn't. Housewives can also get dark and toxic.
Yep.
And we want them like a little dark and toxic, but not so much. Like I hate it like when like we have to put people on pause. Like I miss Dorinda.
Yes.
Like I don't, but I want everyone to be okay. You know.
Mhm.
So below deck is like a nice, safe,
There's a little fantasy to it.
and,
Yeah.
and like the hookups are so fun. And you've got the upstairs and the downstairs, and there's new guests every week, and you're going to a beautiful
And
place.
then those tiny little bunks. And
There's
like-
always good drama, but it's like nefarious drama. Like, well, for the most part.
But then when they're super toxic, they get sent off.
Exactly.
You know?
Yeah.
So
Which
you're
actually
fired.
does happen like every third episode.
You're
maybe.
fired.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Versus we're like, all right, we're going to sit down at dinner after we just outed your ex-husband. Like, okay, let's go.
Below Deck is probably your favorite too, right, Sierra?
Oh my God.
No, Summer House.
Summer
Oh,
House.
Summer
I'm
House is
behind
my-
on that too, but I love Summer House.
Such
Summer
a good
House
That's
is
good
this
fun.
season.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It's relatively. It's not as toxic. I mean, you know, there's.
Do you guys do
Yeah.
Southern Charm?
Yes.
Yeah, we do it all. Yeah.
Yes.
I'm
We were
behind on that
just and we're in the South and we walked past a Sew and Down South
Oh my God.
storefront.
How's it
pretty
doing?
I was
It looks so big on the show. Is it huge?
It was huge.
I was
Him?
very impressed. Like I
Wow.
was like, good for you, Craig.
He's really doing it. Yeah.
Like it was like a weekday, so
Yeah.
it wasn't like a high traffic day, but
There was so many pillows.
Amazing.
So
And that
many
was
and
like
his face everywhere.
years ago. So
Truly.
it's just still thriving.
He is. He is still. Did you ever watch Southern Hospitality?
A little bit.
Yeah.
I didn't like sink my teeth in the same way.
Yeah.
But a
I
little
don't think
bit.
I did either.
Yeah.
what was your intro to reality TV?
It was probably like a Cupcake Wars but I also remember watching Real Housewives of Orange County with my mom the first season and her saying that like someone she worked with always wanted to live in Coto de Casa. And she was like, I've heard about this place. Like, let's go, let's check it out.
Watch.
So that, there's like early days. What else
Laguna Beach.
was on in the day?
The Hills.
I did a little Survivor, not as
Okay.
much.
This one show I've never seen, Survivor.
I've tried to get Nick to watch it so many times. and
I
he's
don't
not
currently
interested.
watch, but people are,
I-
oh my
I
people
feel
are-
like the OG
Yeah.
seasons.
Yes.
I mean, as I'm sure like most seasons are, but yeah, OG
Yeah.
is definitely really good.
So it's still fun for you to watch reality TV, even though it was such a big part of your life.
Yeah, I mean, I still like. I'm sure, like as an actor, when you're watching, I've done a little bit of acting, and even then, I can watch something now and be like, wow, that was. I mean, before I ever even tried it, you just watched it and you just appreciated the storyline, as
Yeah.
opposed to being like, that was an amazing performance.
Yeah.
Like that, wow,
Yeah.
like that person was acting, and that was
Yes.
great. And with reality TV, there's certainly moments where I'm either like kind of rolling my eyes because
Yeah.
it feels a bit forced or
Yeah.
staged. I think reality TV in the past used to get away with professional wrestling, where they used to
Mhm.
pretend it was real,
Yes.
and reality TV used to be like, no, this is, when I was on The Bachelor, they had me go knock on our room. And so they'd had me like go to the hotel and get the key. And then I had fans being like, why is that person giving them the key? It's just like, I had a camera following me.
Because
people.
yeah.
Like, come on. And I think now fans are more educated about
Yeah.
how reality TV is made. And sometimes they get frustrated that networks aren't like keeping up with how intelligent fans are getting. And I wish they would like break the fourth wall a little
Yeah.
bit more, because like we all know, rather than
Yes.
pretending that like the fake therapy on Bravo just always gets me.
It's rough.
Yeah.
It's
It's
just
rough.
like, come on.
Yeah.
Sitting with our couples therapist or like life coach
Yeah.
or something, and it's
No, I think breaking the fourth wall,
HIPAA.
you're right. But I also, you kind of bring up a good point that reality TV has changed so much, because one of the other shows that I got so into was 90 Day Fiance. Did you guys ever do that?
I do that still. I'm
but
still on
like,
Last Resort.
it's not, what season is it in? I don't know. Like,
I don't know. I'm
we're
doing
in very
Last
deep now.
Resort.
Yeah.
There's like part 5 of a reunion.
But like season 1 truly felt like a documentary.
Mhm.
But like now it's such a big show. It feels like people are trying to go on it just to
Yeah.
like
yeah.
everyone's too self-aware now.
Oh,
and
100%.
like it changes the feeling for sure.
That's how definitely Bachelor feels these days. It's like
Everyone knows why they're going on.
Yeah.
They know what they're going to get out of it. It's less.
They're all, as soon as
It's
like the
let's
show's
hear your
airing,
trauma.
everyone's pretty
It's all
much.
right. She has
and everyone's
ADD.
like pumping out their TikTok
Yes.
trends. You know,
Uh-huh.
it's very yeah.
Well, Brianne, before we let you go, I want to play the trailer for season 3 so the
Oh my
fans
God.
can get a little bit of a sneak peek and see what to look forward to from the next season of Ginny and Georgia.
Why is it beeping? I'm not running away. I'm in my damn house.
It needs to be charged.
I cannot believe that this is my life sometimes.
Ginny really needs us right now.
I'm worried about her. I've always known my mom was different. There's more to her that people don't see.
Everyone thinks I'm a violent, unhinged monster.
You can't give up.
At least it can't get any worse, right? Except if I go to prison, that would be worse.
Order!
I'm not a bad person. But if you come face to face with bad, you become a little bad yourself.
I want to protect you from all this.
Mom needs me. You think you have the whole story, but you don't.
No more secrets.
I've been defending my mom to everyone. I am trying so hard to protect her, but I don't even know if it's the right thing to do. I don't want my mom to go to prison.
Do you think she did this?
We're in this together. Ride or die.
Where are we riding and why do we have to die?
You really look like a badass walking into that courtroom.
You
It was-
did.
Yeah, I was like, oh, period.
And the accent is so good.
Oh, thank you, you
Being from the
guys.
South, I watched.
Where are you from?
I'm originally from Auburn, Alabama,
Oh my God.
and then lived in Savannah, Georgia before I moved here. So,
If you have like a glass of wine, is it really coming out?
oh.
Yeah.
Oh, when she gets on the phone with her sisters, I'm like, who is this person?
Yeah. If we have like a country artist guest,
Mhm.
people and like the amount of DMs being like that accent was so insane. It just like falls out of me. But it's really good. Sometimes
That means
it's
the world.
it's hard
Thank
to
you.
watch some people do Southern accents and it feels
Of course.
very like yours it comes off very natural.
Thank you so much. That means a lot coming from you. Thank you.
Yeah, I was like, I'm pretty sure this isn't her real voice. And I went back and
Well, like some after, like when it first came out, and I would send in self tapes, they would be like, "Oh no, she could do her regular accent. It's okay," thinking it was Southern. Like they'd be like, "She doesn't have to put
That's
on a
great.
neutral American."
good.
And they were like, "No, she's not from the South. Yeah, this is her accent." Yeah.
well, congratulations. Obviously, we're very excited about it. It's a great show, and I'm excited for people to watch season 3 and come back again.
Thank you so much. Thank
So
you so
fun.
much.
Thank
guys are the
you.
best.
Well, just want to thank you to our guests, Katie and Dayna from Disrespectfully, as well as Brianne Howey. Tomorrow, don't forget, we have a Going Deeper with Dakota from the hit show Secret Lives of Mormon Wives. It's got over 1 billion streams. I mean, that show is crushing. That's like 100 million per episode. That's crazy.
I'm 3 of them.
3 bill or 100
No, I'm
mil?
just 3. Like I've watched the whole series 3 times over.
Well, Dakota, obviously a some might consider a problematic character.
Complicated man.
We get a little backstory, a little insight on his relationship with the star. We will see you tomorrow. Bye. Hey guys, if you loved what you listened to, make sure you hit that subscribe button below. Thanks for listening. We'll see you next time.